Why would you allow your wife to be put in that position? I would never put my wife in that position, not for social media, not for money, not for anything.
Person has really plateaued and sort of reached their peak. I think a lot of influencers in the US are actually on a journey of self-discovery.
Candace Owens' husband filing for divorce didn't really come out of nowhere. It fits almost too perfectly with the things she's been posting online over the past few days. She's been saying that the French government, Israeli agents, and even U.S. agencies want her gone, and she's been naming people directly. According to her, she has proof that could expose entire governments if anything ever happens to her. But things get even stranger. Before the divorce news hit the blogs, Candace claimed a high-level source from the French government reached out to warn her. She says this person told her that Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron had supposedly hired a hit team from the GIGN, France's top counterterrorism unit, to target her. She even said the source gave her documents and identified an Israeli operative involved in the plan. Candace also linked Charlie Kirk's death to a wider international operation, claiming he uncovered something dangerous. She later read an email from a whistleblower who said the FBI, Secret Service, and DEA all had some knowledge of this alleged plot.
Email, that checks out. Yeah. Secret Service, the FBI, the DEA being involved, why this plane found something out and it cost him his life. That's the truth.
Before getting further into the story, this is where the divorce becomes important. George Farmer's timing feels suspicious, especially since he's pulling away during one of the most chaotic moments of Candace's career. Instead of supporting her, he's reportedly filing papers while media outlets quietly confirm the split. And considering their fast engagement and strange power dynamics, none of this feels surprising.
And then one of the donors to Turning Point USA was telling him it would be very bad for my brand. And that really stuck with me, that one of the donors said, it would be very bad for your brand for you to not marry a black guy from the projects or something like that.
That's right.
That old clip hits completely differently now. But honestly, the divorce isn't even her biggest issue at the moment. Candace is being criticized from inside her own political circle. At a Turning Point USA event, Pastor John Amanchukwu even called her evil and urged George Farmer to make her stop.
Fighting against Erica Kirk, his wife, you have to be cruel and demonic to insinuate the things that she has insinuated over the past several weeks. She's evil. At some point, her husband is going to have to walk into that podcast room and start unplugging cords. By now, I would have already done it if it was my wife.
People who were there said the event didn't feel like a message about faith at all. It felt like a room full of anger aimed directly at Candace. And the more critics tried to tear her down, the more the story kept growing. Even her supporters started posting things like, "Pray for Candace Owens. The French and Israeli governments want her gone." None of this is being covered by major news outlets, which makes everything seem even stranger. Things escalated after she made the accusations about the Macrons. Project Veritas then released messages that supposedly showed Mary Barali, daughter of General William Barr, talking about ways to blackmail Candace and ruin her image. The leaked text said things like, "We need to blackmail her fast and destroy her reputation before she gets to us." Barali's team denies everything, but nobody mentioned in the messages has filed a lawsuit, which many people found suspicious. While the internet was still reacting, Candace made an even stronger statement, saying that if anything ever happened to her, people should blame the Zionists. And when you look at everything together, a whistleblower naming U.S. agencies, claims of French approval for an assassination, talk of Israeli involvement, leaked threats, a pastor calling her demonic, and her husband walking away, it feels like pressure coming from every direction. What surprised many people even more is that she suddenly mentioned Kanye West, claiming he gave her a package of messages and warnings to release if anything ever happened to him.
Anything happens to me, blame the Zionists. 1000% blame the Zionists.
When someone like Kanye, who already believes powerful people are trying to silence him, trusts you with evidence for his protection, it shows the kind of world Candace is involved in. At the same time her lawsuit surfaced, she also revived the Brigitte Macron controversy, responding to the French First Lady's suit by saying, "You were born a man and you will die a man. See you in court."
I think it's important to share that information, as Kanye sent me all the messages, people who were threatening him. I have them all. to information share with Max Blumenthal, with people, people all over the place.
Imagine the chain of events. Candace accuses Bridget Macron of being transgender. Bridget responds by suing. Instead of backing down, Candace pushes even harder. Then a supposed French source claims the Macrons approved an assassination attempt against her. Right after that, her husband files for divorce. A pastor publicly calls her demonic. A leak tied to someone connected to the DOJ appears online, trying to damage her name. She then claims Israeli forces want her gone, and brings up the idea that Charlie Kirk's death was not random. This no longer looks like ordinary political drama, it feels organized. Candace keeps hinting that the same people she believes are after her may also be behind what happened to Charlie. That's the part she refuses to let go of. And it leads to one big question. Did her marriage collapse because George finally understood what she had stepped into, or because he already knew more than he ever admitted? Before getting into the political fallout, it's important to understand why the timing of this divorce matters so much. George Farmer isn't just a regular husband. He's the son of a British baron, raised in elite conservative circles, deeply connected to the same world that built Candace's career. Their relationship always felt unusually strategic, from getting engaged after only 17 days to George describing her as having a mysterious kind of power. And now that old clip of him talking about their engagement is being viewed with a completely different meaning.
You were born a man and you will die a man. That's the point I'm making. So give us a sample. I'll send my doctors to take your blood. Figure it out real quick. I will see you in court.
George once said that he and Candace never really dated, never built anything romantic, and barely shared personal moments. Many people now feel like he viewed her more as an assignment than a partner. Fans even joke that the whole thing looks more like she was recruited than loved. And honestly, when you listen to how he talks about their early days, it sounds closer to a political partnership than a marriage. Relationships that begin that way rarely survive this level of public chaos. So when reports came out that George had filed for divorce, people immediately started connecting the dots. If he truly believed Candace was in danger or losing control, wouldn't he be the first one standing beside her? Instead, he's backing away, turning distant, and giving conservative leaders room to separate themselves from her. That makes it feel like the issue isn't her claims, it might be the exposure that comes with them. Ever since Candace began pointing fingers at entire governments and intelligence networks, major conservative donors have been panicking. These aren't small accusations. She's calling out groups with global influence. And George grew up in a world where political alliances matter more than personal feelings. He understands exactly which lines cannot be crossed, and Candace is stepping over every single one. The divorce paperwork doesn't mention cheating, money issues, or safety concerns. But people inside DC circles, the same people Candace used to depend on, have quietly said that George's team was uncomfortable with her direction for a long time. Not days, not weeks, months. Long before the assassination claims, before the leaked texts, before she challenged entire governments online. This split didn't happen overnight. It was building slowly. People close to the couple even said Candace stopped sharing information with George long ago. She began moving independently, making choices without asking his advice, and hiding certain details to protect him. So when he finally filed for divorce, right at the moment she's being attacked from every side, many believe he's trying to protect his own reputation before things get worse. Meanwhile, something even more unsettling has been happening. The conservative world that once championed Candace is slowly treating her like she's toxic. And the warning signs were there long before anyone noticed. She wasn't being invited to the same events. Influential names stopped reposting her. Big donors and political groups quietly removed her from their plans. People also noticed tension between her and Charlie Kirk. Not open hostility, just clear distance. Even when Charlie passed away, Candace spoke about him in a careful way, almost like she was avoiding details. Then that whistleblower email appeared, and suddenly everything made more sense. The Turning Point USA incident confirmed it even more. When Pastor John openly called her evil, the room didn't defend her. Not one major figure stood up for her. The silence felt intentional, like everyone had already agreed to step back. Soon after, conservative creators who once praised her began calling her dangerous and unpredictable. This is how political machines remove someone. Step back, isolate them, and let the public finish the job. But the story doesn't stop there. Independent journalists also started fading from sight if they even tried to support her. One journalist Candace mentioned, Xavier Boussard, had his name suddenly vanish from trending sections, and videos discussing him stopped getting traction. It looked like platforms themselves didn't want the connection spreading too far. When politicians, pastors, donors, media, and platforms all pull back at the same moment, that's not random. That's organized pressure. And Candace knows it. That's why she's speaking louder, pushing harder, and holding nothing back. She feels like she has no safety net left. But the strongest shock came even before the assassination claims or divorce rumors. During one of her broadcasts, she said, "Judaism is a faith. Israel is a state. And what Netanyahu has done since October 7th is a Holocaust." That statement split her entire audience in half, and it changed everything that followed.
Shook hands, and I just knew, kind of, when I met her, I was like, this is a woman who, she just commanded a power. Nothing romantic was said, you know, between that day and the day that we got engaged. Nothing romantic was said at all. You know, there was no overture.
You know, Judaism is a faith. Israel is a state, and it is not above critique. And that what Bibi Netanyahu has done to the Palestinians since October 7th is a Holocaust.
That quote was the moment everything shifted. Anyone who follows conservative politics knows that criticizing Israel is treated like stepping on a landmine. One wrong sentence and the entire movement turns against you. So when Candace made that statement, the backlash exploded instantly. Within hours, major creators were calling her irresponsible, anti-Israel, misleading, and even a threat to national security. And in political spaces, those labels aren't thrown around casually. They are used to justify removing someone from the circle. It became obvious that Candace was already skating on thin ice. But when she later said that if anything happened to her, blame the Zionists, the reaction changed completely. People criticize Israel all the time, but Candace tied her criticism to claims of a threat against her life. That pushed the situation into territory the movement does not tolerate. After that point, she wasn't seen as just a commentator. She became someone who could potentially reveal things powerful people didn't want exposed. Once she made those accusations public, every political alliance around her began cracking. But none of this compares to the moment she connected everything to Charlie Kirk's death. There's a detail most people missed when all this began. Candace wasn't simply warning about danger. She was linking multiple deaths, several government agencies, and more than one country to one long chain of events, starting with Charlie. Charlie wasn't just a coworker. She used to call him her little brother. So when she read that whistleblower email on camera, her voice didn't sound dramatic. It sounded genuinely shaken. That's when the puzzle pieces started lining up. You have a French source claiming the Macrons approved a hit. You have allegations that the person who killed Charlie trained with a French military unit. You have Candace saying U.S. agencies knew something days before he died. You have reporters being warned not to talk. You have Candace describing herself as the next target. The sequence is too close to dismiss. There's another clue people overlooked. The night before she warned she might be assassinated, she liked a post suggesting Charlie discovered something he wasn't supposed to. That alone made people believe she's holding back more than she's saying. She claims she has documents she will release if anything happens to her. Whether that's true or not, it changes the entire atmosphere around her. The air feels tense. Influencers grow silent. The negative campaigns increase. Something shifted. But there's also a smaller detail that shows how deep this might go. Before all this, Candace was predictable. You knew her tone, her rhythm, her style. Agree or disagree, she was steady. Now she speaks slower, thinks more before talking, and keeps mentioning private conversations with people behind the scenes. She hints at a larger picture but refuses to spell it out. That's not normal commentary. That's someone who feels watched. She even posted, "I don't know who in the American government can be trusted." A statement like that is shocking coming from someone who built a career defending U.S. institutions. Combined with the Project Veritas leak, where powerful names allegedly discuss ruining her reputation, Candace started separating faith conservatives from state conservatives. She's drawing a clear line, and people know her audience is huge. That's why so many pastors, influencers, and commentators began rebuking her publicly. They're distancing themselves because they don't want to be pulled into whatever she's hinting at. And George? He clearly doesn't want the fallout either. There's another detail that raised eyebrows. When Candace posted the claims about the Macrons, people in her circle didn't defend her. They whispered privately. These weren't random commentators, these were people connected to political donors and think tanks. 3 things kept coming up. First, several insiders allegedly told her to calm down weeks before she went public. Second, George reportedly couldn't manage the situation anymore. Their tension wasn't emotional. It was strategic. Third, Candace didn't reveal everything she was told. She still has information she hasn't shared, which suggests real fear. Combine all of this with pastors calling her demonic, agencies denying leaks, bots attacking her posts, and donors stepping back, and the picture becomes clear. She's being boxed in. And here's the part that stands out the most. George didn't leave when she argued with other influencers, or when media outlets attacked her, or when she clashed with conservatives. He walked away when she accused international leaders of trying to kill her. That timing is too exact to overlook. So what does he know that made him walk out the door exactly when she needed support? One more thing worth paying attention to. Candace has always had access to high-level people. Kanye trusted her with evidence. Politicians confided in her privately. She often had information other commentators never got near. So when she says a French insider approached her, it's believable. When she says she saw documents, it's possible. When she suggests institutions knew about danger surrounding Charlie, it doesn't sound impossible. And when someone with that level of access suddenly becomes a problem, the system doesn't debate them, it isolates them. Her husband left, her allies pulled back, pastors condemned her, influencers ignored her, and journalists near her went quiet. When pressure hits from every direction at once, it means she touched a nerve somewhere. Right now, she doesn't look like someone stirring drama. She looks like someone who stumbled onto information she wasn't meant to have. And if that's true, George's exit might be less about betrayal and more about protecting himself. Now the real question becomes, do you believe Candace is telling the truth? Or is she in way over her head?